doing this video because I am proof that when you live as though your dreams have already manifested, or the things that you need have already manifested, or the health that you desire has already manifested, and you're living it and you're feeling it every single day, it is truth. There is so much truth to that concept. And I know over the years you guys have heard about it through other videos on manifesting and shows and, live as though you have already made that happen. And sometimes it's really difficult. And that's why you've come to this video, because I'm going to tell you, when I had nothing, like no money, and I had a vehicle that was not running and I needed a new one, this is what I did. I'm here to do another video for you because I am always here to empower you and give you as much help as I can on holistic nutrition, fitness, living your best lifestyle through the most natural processes as possible, and mind shift so that you can accomplish living your best life ever. So today we are talking about manifesting the things that you want in life and living as though you've already received it. And I need to tell you this because I have gone through experiences where I was in a desperate state. So back about 9 years ago, I had a vehicle that I had for work, for my life. I say work because I've owned my own business for a long time. And at that time, I was renting out space at a facility, so I was driving back and forth through there, but then also I was doing some coaching in-home for nutrition or fitness. And so I was driving around quite a bit. Now, I had 30% heat in this vehicle, 30%. So not a lot. I live in Canada, where the winters it gets to be -40. So it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And I was single. I didn't have any extra help or any extra income. It was just relying on me. And what ended up happening is that I had a really massive issue with my vehicle. I took it in to get fixed. And it was a $5,000 fix, and at that time I couldn't afford it, so I ended up taking it to a backyard mechanic who had it for a while, so I had to get a rental car, so I was paying for that. By the time I got it back, he said he still couldn't fix the heat, and I had paid $2,000. And so there was 30% heat that I had, so it was still very cold. So I was basically in a desperate state, because I needed a new vehicle, because I knew other things were going to start to deteriorate and start to happen. And I knew from being in the, the industry of self-growth that I wasn't going to get there if I was filling myself with fear every single day. So step one is, how can I change my state when I am so fearful because I need this to happen right now? I need to have a new vehicle. How am I going to do this? And so what I began to do was, number one, in the morning, I would listen to inspirational things that changed my state so I was feeling good. As soon as I was feeling a little bit better, I would start to do meditation and start to really ground myself. So that was really first thing, is grounding myself and knowing that I'm a powerful human being and that the universe, God, is always with us, and that anything is possible. Because I think we live in such a limited state of mind for most of the time, like in this 3D world, where we're being bombarded by what media or the news or our friends and family say that is possible or what is happening. And so we're always full of fear, not realizing that that's so much propaganda that is being fed into our mind, and that we don't have to listen to that. We don't even have to buy into all of that, and that we are a powerful creator. We are on this planet to be able to create and manifest, because that's what we are. We are energetic beings, and we can attract things to us and we can pull things from us. We can put ourselves out there and have really amazing energy to draw in good things. Or if we're feeling fearful, remember, where attention goes, energy flows. So if we're feeling fearful all the time and feeling in a negative state, then we're consistently drawing those negative situations into our life. We're consistently being in a downward spiral. We're not going to see the results that we want to see. We are going to bring in other people that are lower vibration, that are going to pull us down as well. So by starting to understand that you are, number one, a powerful creator, and number two, to ground yourself and start just getting yourself out of your current state, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, can dramatically change your day. So I would ground myself in my house. I'm ground myself by meditating, by listening to beautiful birds on YouTube, or Tibetan singing bowls, or lovely music, or meditation music, anything like that, prayer to just really start to make me feel better. When I start to get into that state of feeling better, then I would immediately start to visualize myself with the vehicle that I have dreamt of. So feeling that I was in that vehicle already. And I know when you first do this process that it really feels like, it almost feels stressful, because you're like, but I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. Then it's like pulling yourself back. And when you're thinking about those negative things, I always say, I cancel that. I cancel that. And I bring myself back to knowing that it is possible. I know from in this year, like where we're at right now, by watching so many videos of people that have manifested way bigger stuff and way better, like bigger health conditions, that I can create this little thing, which is a vehicle, which might not sound like a little thing, but in the scheme of the world and the life, it is a little thing. So I would get myself into that. Now, I then would get myself ready for the day. I would get into my freezing cold vehicle, and I would touch the steering wheel. And as I was touching the steering wheel, I would visualize it being the new steering wheel in my new vehicle. I would put on good music, and even though I was cold and I was driving around, I would sing, and I would know my vehicle is on its way, it's here, I feel so good about it. And I would just keep getting in that vibe, keep getting in that vibe. And the second fear would come into my body, like I said, I would say, cancel that, and I would bring that back into a positive state. So as that was all happening, at the same time, the facility that I was renting out space for 12 years, the building, like the top part of the building where I was at, was closing down. So I was going to lose everything. And so at that point, even more panic set in. And so at that time, I really had to do a lot of mental work, a lot. And knowing when one door closes, another one opens. Even though this is terrifying, how am I going to make money? Because this is where my business is resonating from. How am I going to pay for my condo? How am I going to pay for my vehicle? How am I going to even get a new vehicle at this point? You know, all those questions come into your mind. And then I just would have to stop myself and again, keep reiterating, I know that this is possible. I know that this is possible. Things are changing in my highest and best interest. And a lot of times, guys, what I would have to do if my state wasn't changing and I would still feel that gut feeling of like fear and like terror, that I would do something so crazy, because a lot of people, when you're depressed or when you're feeling down or when you're feeling really fearful, you definitely don't feel like doing this, but this is what I did. I would tie on my runners. I would go to any field and I would just start doing sprints. And as crazy as that sounds, I started doing it because it changed my state. I was releasing pent up fear, pent up anxiety, pent up anger, pent up frustration. And when you're releasing those and you're moving your body at the same time, you change your state. During that time, when I'm doing those sprints, I would say, I'm so powerful. I can manifest anything. I am such an amazing creator. And with the help of the universe and with God and with the angels and with whoever is with me, because we're never alone, I know I am being guided to have what it is that I choose to receive. I know it is there for me. And then lo and behold, an amazing position came up with another company. And it was like, it just checked off all of the boxes that I needed. It was amazing income. And so I applied for the position. And even though I didn't even have the qualifications at that point, and there was so many people that were way more qualified than me, after I did my first interview, I knew I got it. I knew I got it. I just knew in my gut that it was for me. And it was funny because I didn't hear back from the person interviewing me for 3 weeks. So you can guess throughout those 3 weeks how much work I needed to do to say, I know that this is possible. I know it is possible. And so lo and behold, I did get the job, and it was I was super happy. Everything about it was in the line of health and fitness. Everything was about educating. Everything was exactly what I needed and wanted, and it was even better than what I had anticipated. And then, so what I ended up doing is, because I was making a lot more than I had thought I was going to be making, I ended up going and purchasing a brand new vehicle off the showroom floor. And so, and that was all this whole time frame, guys, that this had happened, from when I was like, I need to manifest a new vehicle fast, to getting this job, was about 6 weeks. So a month and a half. And I was able to get into the new vehicle, have that job, and then have clients still in their homes. So everything worked out because I acted as if I was still living my life as though I was successful in my mind, and feeling those feelings, and canceling those states when I was feeling fearful, because that's the most important thing, guys, is that when we get into those states of fear, to not let it snowball, to not let it spiral you down, to shift it. And that takes a lot of mental work. And all of this manifesting, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but manifesting is really like working a muscle. If you've never worked your biceps before, you're not going to grab a set of 60-pound dumbbells and start working your biceps if you've never done it before. You know, it's hard. You're like, oh my God, this is so complicated, because you haven't worked that way. A lot of us have gone through our life acting and being victims. And I'm not saying that people aren't victims. Yes, of course, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in life that's really bad. But it's, how long do you decide to be a victim before you can say, okay, that was my past. That was horrible situations that I've been in. But if I stay in that victim mentality, or feeling sorry for myself because I don't have the life that I want, or the health that I want, I'm never going to have those things because I'm feeling sorry for myself. The only way to get there is to start to empower yourself, and that is through self-growth, and that is through changing your perception. And nobody can do that except for you. Nobody can get inside of your head when you're going through those troubled thoughts, or those downworld thoughts, spiraled thoughts, but you. You're the only one that can bring yourself up, and that takes practice. So every time you begin that, you can try this. Cancel it. Find a better feeling thought. Think about something different. And as hard and as troublesome that can be, because maybe you're in a situation where other people around you are constantly feeding those negative thoughts, is to try to separate yourself from those people during that time. Go into the bathroom and try to uplift yourself with positive thoughts of self-empowerment by looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, by looking yourself in the eyes, how powerful of a person you are, and how amazing you are, and how much you love yourself unconditionally, and you know that you are guided and you are able to create anything. So this is just one story. That's one story that I have about manifesting what I wanted when I needed to, when I was in a desperate state. And I know a lot of you guys have been in that situation before. So I wanted to let you know that anything is possible and that you can do that. So I wanted to do this video because living as though, getting into a better feeling state, no matter where you're at, it changes everything. I'm going to do another video, and I'm going to post it on how I healed from being paralyzed, because I visualized myself being healed. And I'm going to talk about how I used my mind to heal myself in that video. So stay tuned for that one, which is coming up very soon. And if you like this video, you can subscribe and hit the bell so you get notification for my next ones. And I'm always here to talk to you about health and mindset and just living your best life. And I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you're manifesting everything that you want in your life.